about it. The reason the Kings are in the danger zone. Thank you for that. I thought it was a Eric Paschal song, and then it all came around. So thank you for that, Kyle. The reason the Kings are in the danger zone, the Fox is not healthy. Okay, I thought you were gonna play it. 15 of the next 21 are on the road. The Clippers getting Kawhi back. They don't have the tiebreaker against the Lakers. Luka returns in a couple weeks. The Timberwolves are heating up, and it's only a matter of time before the Suns make a move.
I don't think we have to worry about that one.
All right. So, I don't know, man. This is the 6th seed. I was feeling really good about this when the Kings were just not losing. How about that? When the Kings were only winning games, I felt really good about this.
So you're saying back when Doug Christie had literally the greatest winning percentage of any coach in NBA history, you were feeling good about the Kings?
That's right. They're a game ahead of the Warriors, okay, at 23 and 22. This road trip, I'm telling you, Kyle, and we talked about this last week, these teams are getting healthy, right? And the road trip that the Kings are on right now, obviously you got to take the Nets is you need that game. Everybody knows that. After that, like I said, Philly beat the Cavs with no Joel Embiid. So I would not, a lot of people were throwing, okay, well, Nets and Sixers. Do we not remember how the Kings almost lost to the Sixers at home?
Yeah, they were real close, and there was no Joel Embiid in that game.
So I don't understand why everybody is sitting here saying, okay, well, you know, this road trip, you get the Nets and the Sixers. I mean, the Nets, sure. You get the Sixers, not going to be a walk in the park. Then you go to OKC, and then you go to Minnesota, and that Minnesota game's huge for tiebreaker implications and the fact that the Kings and the Timberwolves are both fighting for that 5th or 6th seed. After that, you host the Magic, the band is back together. Paolo's back and Franz Wagner is back. You get a little break against the Blazers. You got to go to Portland, and then you host the Pelicans. Yeah, you play the Pelicans 3 times in a matter of a week, and that's not the same. Alvarado's back. DeJounte Murray is back. So that team is not what it was when they were 1 and whatever, and now they have 6. That is not the 6-win Pelicans team. And then in the middle of that all those Pelicans matchups, you have to go to Dallas, and February 10th, Luka might be back.
At least that's the plan for the Mavericks, is to have him back before the All-Star break.
This is not a game. This is not a game for the Sacramento Kings, and it is going to be tough sledding. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the trade deadline happens while they're on the road. Will they actually add anybody? If you're trying to, and especially now, we can forget the All-NBA conversation with De'Aaron. Obviously, Whitey and I had that conversation, and it made more sense, Whitey's point of view, as far as there still being plenty of time before De'Aaron, this finger got worse, his other finger got hurt, and he's just off, right? Feels like there's a combination of those 3 things happening. I'm almost ready to be done with the all NBA conversation. And when you look at what the Kings are dealing with and trying to get to this to into the playoffs, to me, making a move is just not even a question. It's not even a question. I think right now it's just tough because, you know, it takes 2 to tango, but you have to think that Monty McNair, Wes Wilcox, they're not just doing due diligence. They're getting ready to swing on something, or they're getting ready to possibly say goodbye to De'Aaron Fox. Those are the 2 options I see.
Yeah, but the De'Aaron Fox thing, that's kind of by proxy of how the season goes, right? I feel like that one's out of their control because there's so many factors that could still change whether or not De'Aaron Fox stays or goes. It's just, do they get a deal that they like right now? And we've been having this conversation for a month. Do you give up more thinking that you need to convince De'Aaron Fox to stay, when I don't think the difference between De'Aaron Fox signing a long-term extension or not is John Collins?
But I do, though. I do, because I think that puts them in a position to mess around and get out of the play-in and possibly get to a second round.
I think the move is eventually they're going to have to do something, although I don't know what that something is or the timeline for when that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked about on Friday, make a move before the deadline or wait until the offseason when more quality players are available, because contenders are not trading or selling pieces of their team right now. So, they have until probably July or August or maybe even training camp to make that quote unquote move that quote unquote convinces, and I put all of that in air quotes, De'Aaron Fox to stay.
But I do wonder if how De'Aaron views the idea of, hey, we don't want to make a rash decision. We can always see what's available in the summer. I wonder how De'Aaron views that. And I know it's about the team and his teammates, not just the front office, but I wonder how De'Aaron views that when he is playing through injury. So it's, hey, I'm playing through injury. We're trying to get we're in the midst of a really tough, playoff race. There are dudes on the bench that are not getting time. And if they are getting time, they are not contributing. And we want to talk about what's going on in the summer. I don't, if I'm De'Aaron, I might say, why am I playing through injury if you guys aren't even, if we're not trying to, not necessarily go all in per se, but why am I playing through injury and we're sitting here planning on stuff for the summer?
Yeah, that is an interesting point. And the organization, took a big risk in deciding we're going to fire Mike Brown.
Yeah, that too.
So, maybe there's more of a dialogue with De'Aaron when it comes to the roster construction.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, this organization's made big choices without De'Aaron Fox in mind before. It's not disorienting to look at it and say the best move for the long-term viability of the franchise is to not give up a first-round pick and more for John Collins, or not give up a first-round pick for Kyle Kuzma.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just take our picks into the offseason when there may or may not be a player we like at a better value.
There's no way Kyle Kuzma is still worth the first rounder.
I don't think so either, but that's what the Wizards are asking for.
There's no way. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Mitch. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Mitch? What you got for us?
I don't know.
Hey.
Yeah, I think he should be rested. It's not like in the playoffs, you got Ty Mahomes playing with a high ankle sprain like he did last year, and he gets his rest. You want him to be fresh come March and April.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be the perfect time to trade for, I think Cam Johnson. I worked with the first-round pick. I'd rather have Kuzma. But have you seen the Knicks, especially, I think they got over on Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Towns and Sabonis. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, Mitch. Yeah, I mean, Collins and Sabonis, that would – I think we're cooking. And each and every game now, obviously, this game, a lot of people are saying Cam Johnson is in. Obviously, the Kings are in Brooklyn. If a Cam Johnson deal did happen, you could do all the physical stuff. You could get the physical exam. All that could be expedited with the team being there. So, and he is out with that ankle. So who knows? I wouldn't get your hopes up, but that is just me. That is not source information. I feel like how I feel about the Super Bowl, right? With Patrick Mahomes. If it happens, great, but I'm expecting the same roster to take off and leave New York. But you never know. Hopefully, either way, they're leaving with the W. Next up, we continue to talk about the current roster and who needs to step up for the Kings to get back on the winning side of things. Alan Sal, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays.